5 strong on 3. 1, 2, 3, 5 strong.
We say 5 strong. You know, when you're on the field on offense, you always have 5 offensive linemen. And so it's those 5 guys working together, you're always 5 strong.
There you go. There's more of us on the field at any time than anybody else, and we really all rely on each other to do our job. I think it just makes us a lot closer on and off the field.
There's no statistics. In that group, what you have is each other. The stronger and the better you know somebody, the more you're going to confide in them, trust them, and, you know, be a part of their lives.
But one of those linemen, Mason Darrow, had a secret. As a freshman in 2013, Darrow was adjusting to Division I football, classes at an Ivy League school, and coming to terms with how to share something he feared would strain or even break the bond on the O-line.
There was always just kind of this one little thought in the back of my mind, you know, whether I'd be in class or at practice, just kind of wondering, you know, what I want to do about this, how people are going to take it.
It was a Thursday night practice, I think. The whole practice, he seemed just kind of off. I kind of felt it in the air.
I was just really slow. I had trouble, you know, focusing on, you know, what calls to make. It was just kind of like this cloud hanging over me that, you know, I really didn't want to be there anymore.
And I was like, hey, like, are you okay? Yeah, sure, I'm fine, like in the generic way. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, you know, come up to my room, you know, we'll talk, we'll get this all sorted out.
I mean, it was pretty terrifying. That was kind of the first moment when I realized, like, all right, here we go, this is happening.
I sat him down, I was like, all right, seriously, like, what's the deal? Like, what's wrong?
I just kind of said, yeah, I've got some personal stuff. I don't really know quite how I want to handle it. And he was like, okay, well, this is a girl issue. I'm going to be really upset. And I just said, no, it's exactly the opposite. And then kind of paused for a second. I was just like, Caleb, I'm gay. And he was like, okay.
I just looked at him, I was like, that's not a big deal, man. Like, you're a family. You can tell me that, and you know what? I'll help you go through whatever you need to go through.
It's definitely funny that, you know, I'm you know, really freaking out here coming to tell you this, and then the reaction is just, okay.
Sharing the news quietly with a teammate is one thing. Having it become common knowledge is another. It wasn't the fear of mean-spirited comments that concerned him. Quite the opposite. Would his teammates be afraid of offending him and leave him out of the time-honored rite of passage, getting ragged on in the locker room?
I know, Mitch! I know everything!
We all make fun of each other all the time, and I mean, everybody's part of it. I mean, it hasn't changed anything.
He started making jokes on his own. You know, first you're never really sure what to do in a situation, so you look to other people to see what they might do.
You know, initially, some guys were a little uncertain, like, where the line was drawn or what could be said. And then, you know, I think once I kind of started with that, then they were like, oh, okay, yeah, it's just still same old Mason.
What did you learn about your fears of the reaction versus the reality of the reaction?
That I'd way overthought and overanalyzed potential reactions. I mean, honestly, nobody really cared that much. I mean, it was just the complete opposite of what I feared would happen. And I look back and I'm just like, I can't believe I ever thought that this would be a big issue.
Since Darrow decided to go public before this season, he now holds the distinction of being the first openly gay player in Division I history to actually play in a game. He doesn't consider himself a trailblazer. Mason Darrow just thinks of himself as one of the guys.
I don't know that I consider myself a gay football player. I mean, I like to think I'm just a football player who happens to be gay. You know, for me growing up, it was kind of a struggle. I didn't really have athletic mentors to look up to, but for me, I just wanted to be that gay athlete that some kid can identify with and be like, okay, I can do this too.